I'm so excited to share my vision board. I've done numerous vision boards before. This is actually my first time doing a board like this. It's a lot more realistic. The foundation that I used to create this vision board was actually from Erin On Demand. She has a vision board video on how to create in-depth and in detail realistic vision board, and I'm gonna link that video below. And I literally just followed the same steps to create my vision board. So I'm just really excited to share with you what I put on the vision board and show you guys what I am consistently looking at every single day. Before I get into sharing my vision board, I just wanted to reflect a bit on 2019. 2019 has been the most transformational, the most eye-opening. Like it was overwhelming to say the least, but I feel like 2019 was actually the best year of my life. So just to reflect a bit on 2019, I'm gonna break it down by the months. I don't have good memory, and I feel like this is the reason why I record so many videos or I take a lot of pictures, to be able to go back to the beginning of the year to see where I was at, to compare it to where I'm at right now. I actually brought in the year back home in the Virgin Islands in St. Croix, where I was born and raised.
We are at Buck Island, which is like a remote island off of St. Croix. So you can see St. Croix behind me there. Sage is having a blast. Sage is doing so much more than what like I did when I was a kid. It's insane.
I don't know if you guys know, but in 2018, before I found out I was pregnant, I was back home in St. Croix. And before I left, the biggest thing that was on my mind was having a baby. As soon as I got back from St. Croix, I got pregnant. So a year later, to be able to bring in the year with my husband and my son, knowing that the year before I was thinking that I would never be able to get pregnant. So starting the year off with my family and my husband back home was one for the books. We also took a trip to St. Thomas for I think like 2 days, and my dad was able to meet Sage.
We're there at St. Thomas, me, baby Sage, and Tasha sisters. Guys, I just want y'all to see this view.
February. I feel like the first quarter of 2019 was just all family oriented. So I went back to St. Croix, and this time it was more families. My cousins from Tennessee, they were down there with all of her kids, my nieces. So yeah, in February was a great time with family. March, my husband and his grandma has such a really great relationship. So it was really beautiful to have her fly down here just to spend time with her grandson and her great-grandson. In April, that's my mom's birthday, so I flew back to St. Croix, and that's when I surprised my mom for her birthday. And a couple of days later, it was my dad's birthday, so we went to St. Thomas, and it was just Sage and I this time. My dad actually showed Sage how to climb off of a bed. So it was really great to see them bonding, knowing that this is a relationship that I have wanted all my life. So it was like, oh my gosh, this is my dad kind of playing with me. This is how it would look like if he was there, whatever. But yeah, it was beautiful to be there with my dad and have him spending time with Sage. The highlight of May was Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day!
Just being a mom overall in 2019, it taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about patience, because I'm like growing with my son. In June, we actually moved out of our old apartment. We said goodbye to the place that I birthed my son in. This room, all the feels. Not only did we move into a new space, we also had family move in as well.
The house is still a mess because we're still unpacking, but we're almost done.
It went from Eddie and I to Eddie, Sage, and I, to then coming into the house with Eddie, Sage, I, my sister, her dog, and my cousin. So yeah, it was overwhelming a bit. Come July, I ended up going to therapy. In August, I actually got a health coach. Shout out to Natalie. She's so freaking amazing. So I was doing a program with her where I was speaking to her every single Monday. Before I was even talking to her, I didn't really have the planner. I didn't have these pictures on the wall. And she gave me a lot of tips to help me be a lot more productive. I needed energy. I didn't have any energy. I didn't have a routine. I wasn't really doing anything. The only demand that I had was to feed my son. June and July was very overwhelming, like I said. So starting in August, when I did therapy and I had my health coach, I started to see the light. I started to journal more. I started to meditate more. I started to work out consistently. I had my alarm set. I feel like that's when I started to see my potential. What happened in September? Sage started walking. I was working out more. I was trying to do everything. Like, okay, cool, Tasha, you're getting your groove back. You are being more productive by waking up earlier. But then it started into, okay, so what's gonna make you money? And here I am, wanted to do this and wanted to do that, and thinking like, okay, Tasha, you can't do everything at once. Figure it out. You need to come up with a plan. October is like one of the heaviest months for us in the year because that's our wedding anniversary, our dating anniversary, Sage's birthday. My sister's birthday was in October. Sage got signed with an agency. I actually planned mom meetups where we just had fun. We ate food, we hung out with our little babies, we went in the backyard, we were just chilling. November, I actually flew to California for the first time. I've never been to California by myself, so that was my first time actually leaving Sage. It was called Speak and Write to Make Millions, and it was by Lisa Nichols, and it was a 3-day event where we basically learned tools to be able to impact others through either writing or speaking.
Now, there have been times when you've turned your frequency down. You turned your shine down because you didn't want to outshine somebody else. There's no better time than now to turn your vibration back up. So get ready.
Get ready.
Then stay ready.
Stay ready.
Then show up.
Show up.
Then shine bright.
Shine bright.
Now let your frequency go out and inspire others.
Let it flow.
And that was, oh my gosh, the most amazing event, the most amazing workshop that I've ever experienced. It was more than me trying to figure out what it is I want to do, but it's like, how do I want to impact the world? Or what do I want people to say about me when I'm no longer on this earth? December, we're not over yet, and I feel like I am just on a roller coaster. So some days I'm good, some days I'm just like in my head, some days I don't feel productive. That's just life, right? And I did a lot of forgiving, and it was a lot of inner work. So from therapy to my health coach, setting boundaries, and it was a great year of emotions. Overall, it was a great year, and I'm just really excited to see what 2020 has in store. So let's just get into my 2020 vision board. I usually have it up top, up here. The way that I made my vision board, instead of planning your vision board for, let's say, 3 years, 5 years, just focus on what I wanted to accomplish for the year, and I put that on the board. I didn't really use any magazine cutouts at all. I'm actually gonna show you one of the vision boards that I did, an old vision board that I did. This didn't really do much for me because it's just a bunch of words. So I have like legacy on here, financial freedom, paid in full, be intentional, consistency is key, what's your why? Basically, when you see vision boards, I feel like it's just like a bunch of clutter. I wanted to be able to feel every single thing that I'm putting on the vision board. So the vision board that I created, it's very personal. I can remember the feeling of each picture that is on here. My word for 2020 is focus. I get distracted very easily, and I always try to accomplish so many things instead of like focusing on one day at a time. Passive income. So for passive income, I feel like that's the key to wealth. When it comes to passive income, YouTube, for instance, that's a passive income. I want to be able to generate income without having to go to work and clock in. I also have a picture of me with 2 packages in my hand. I actually took this picture when I was at the post office. So for me, this just represents sales. I don't know what I'm gonna be selling in 2020, but just know that I'm gonna be at the post office and I'm gonna be mailing stuff to y'all. On the back of my sweater, it says feeling it, facing it, sharing it together. So this just represents a vulnerable mom and whatever it is that I want to do with it. So right here in the middle, I have a quote. There's different quotes in my journal. So I actually just cut out one of the pages from my journal. It basically says, if you have the guts to be yourself, other people would pay your price. That's why it's so important to make sure that the person that you are in real life is the person that you're also portraying on social media. I have a S.H.O.P tax prep. So I am a partner of Jump and Jack Taxes. So I will be doing tax returns come 2020. It's been very hard trying to finish tax school. As you can see, I have books in the back dealing with my tax school. So I've been trying to work day in and day out to figure out all the tax laws and just to be able to educate myself to help and educate my community. With my tax business, which is S.H.O.P tax prep, I wanted to do 250 returns. And I have this big bowl and in the middle is debt free. I still have student loans. Yeah, I just want to not owe people nothing. So for 2020, for sure, my biggest goal is to be debt free. And in order for me to be able to do that, I need income, passive income, 250 returns. That's gonna help me to be debt free, to be able to help people feel it, face it, share it together. I'm just tying everything together, guys. Starve your distractions, feed your focus. I know, like I said, I get distracted very easily. So this is something I wanted to make sure that I see consistently every day, especially on my desk where I'm working. Because sometimes I can tend to look at things when I shouldn't be looking at it. Like, why am I watching random YouTube videos? Or why am I scrolling on Instagram? Like, no, starve your distractions and feed your focus. Income, 100,000. That's my goal for the end of 2020 is to make $100,000. There's people that make $100,000 a month or $100,000 a day. I just want $100,000 for 2020 for the year. My YouTube subscriber, so I have 85,000 subscribers. Right now, I think I'm almost at like 22. Go big or go home. That's that. Over here on the side, I have my name tag from when I went to California. This was an investment that I made for myself to be able to speak better, to tell my story. So that's why I have the story of my life. The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can. So I just wanted to make sure that this just represents authenticity and to just know that can't nobody be you. 32 like magic. I'm actually going to be turning 32 on January 8th. On Netflix, Love and Basketball is out on there and I was watching it recently. And she said, I want to be 32 like Magic. And one of the key things that she said was, Magic made such and such whatever amount of points, but then he sat out the whole fourth quarter. And I kind of wanted to do that, sit out the whole fourth quarter. So I have my family. Of course, I can't not have my family on here. And it's not really much that I wanted to put on there because I feel like we have a really strong relationship and we just love each other so much. So it was only right that I continue to have them on there. And I have this quote that says, our set life is our best life. I was playing tug of war with my husband to even put that on there because, so let me give you a little idea of what our set life is our best life is. So our set life, so S.E.T, it's our initials, so Sage, Eddie, and Tasha. I low-key want another baby. Not right now, but I mean, I could get pregnant in 2020. Like, I would love that. Maybe towards the end of the year. So we would like for our next baby for the initial to start with B. Our set life would actually be our best life. I'm maintaining my weight. I wanted to make sure that I am focusing on my health. So this picture was a picture of me. I went to California in the mirror getting ready at 6 o'clock in the morning to go work out. This picture right here is with me and Jazzy, and the floaty is in the shape of peace. So that's something I definitely want to strive for and continue to focus on peace and happiness. And with this freaking blow up air thing, I was the one that blew this shit up and it took me so long. I feel like I was getting lockjaw and I didn't realize how hard it was to sit there and blow so much air in this. So this definitely took a lot of time and patience. To the bottom, this was a picture of the mommy and me meetup that I had at the house. I just want to continue to focus on building my tribe and having a community of like-minded women that are very intentional with their parenting and that just want to have like a safe space. Like I said, a vulnerable mom we have a community of women that just feel it, face it, and share it together. One of the last pictures I have is me stopping to smell the roses. No matter how overwhelming it can get, no matter how stressful it may seem, it's just so important to take a moment to stop and smell the roses and just soak in everything that might be coming for you. So yeah, this is my 2020 vision board, and yeah, I just really am obsessed with it because I can really and truly remember every single moment from every picture, and it's very specific to me. That's it. I explained everything. I recapped my 2019. I hope you guys had an amazing year. Comment below and let me know what are some of your 2020 goals. I also want to know if you did a vision board. It speaks so much volumes when you actually write things down and see your plans coming into place. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a happy new year, because by the time next Thursday is here, we'll already be in 2020. So I hope you guys have a happy new year, and the new moon is out. It's the new moon in Capricorn, so set your intentions and make your plans for the new year, and let's attack this shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you next year. Bye guys.
It's all done now.